This is the eHealth Radio Network, your source for health advice on demand. And now your host, Eric Michaels.
And thanks for joining us once again here on the eHealth Radio Network. This is your host, Eric Michaels. Today we're visiting with Tom Paladino, who began research with Scalar Energy during his undergraduate years, inspired by various scientists, especially Nikola Tesla, the genius who invented alternating current. He was curious to learn more about the existence of an energy that was not the electromagnetic spectrum. He pursued a course of independent study in order to better understand and subsequently harness scalar energy, as this emerging science is not taught at the university level. And Mr. Paladino, thanks for joining us here today.
Hey, thank you so much. Thanks for the invite, Eric.
You're certainly welcome, and thanks for your time. So tell us, where does scalar energy originate, and can you describe its nature?
Yeah, we'll set the guidepost right now. Scalar energy is not electricity. What am I getting at? It's the energy of the sun and the stars. This is the initial energy of the universe. So you do not have to create scalar energy. It already exists. It's sunlight, it's starlight. This is what is so fascinating. This is what is so promising, that we're finally able to tap into this life force energy.
Well, I tell you, this is probably news to most of our listeners tuning in today. Tell us, take it further. What is the difference between scalar energy and electromagnetic energy?
I've always considered that the initial energy, the primary energy of the universe is scalar energy, whereas electricity, magnetism, electromagnetic energy is the derivative of scalar energy. So the first energy, the primary energy of the universe, is scalar energy. And with that said, if we finally tap into this primary energy, well, we'll be able to end the energy crisis. It's free energy from the sun and the stars. This is why scalar energy research is so important.
Now, how does scalar energy disassemble pathogens? Get into that a little, if you would.
So I've developed scalar energy instruments, and in so doing, these instruments allow me to control molecular forms. So when I'm working, say, with a virus or a bacterium or a parasite, I'm able to control molecular forms with this energy. Well, with that in mind, I'm able to unbind, or I would say negate, the molecular bonds of a virus or a bacterium. The virus or the bacterium, quite frankly, disassembles. It falls apart. So with a scalar energy instrument, I've been able to calibrate these instruments to make germs fall apart. It's quite fascinating what we can do with this energy.
I have no doubt you've grabbed the attention of the audience today. We're speaking with Tom Paladino, a scalar energy researcher with 30-plus years experience helping people with chronic pathogenic illnesses here on eHealth Radio's Health News Channel, a part of the eHealth Radio Network. Now, tell us, how does scalar energy assemble nutrients inside the human body? Give us some information on that as well.
That's a great question. So with a scalar energy instrument, you can instruct matter. And I can instruct, for instance, an antioxidant to actually assemble in a molecular structure and to maintain that molecular structure. So, for instance, with a scalar energy instrument, it is instructional. I can instruct the existing proteins in the body to realign, to rearrange themselves into an antioxidant. So this is the sway, this is the mastery of scalar energy. We could take one physical form, proteins, and rearrange those physical forms into, say, an antioxidant or any other type of micronutrient. So the future that I envision is to be able to assemble micronutrients for people around the world, all by way of energy. You do not take a multivitamin. You will not have to take a supplement. We will be able to derive our nutritional support by way of energy that allows us to actually create a nutrient, to create a phytochemical or an antioxidant or a vitamin, to be able to create a nutrient by way of scalar light.
Now, here's another question for you. How does scalar energy allow you to treat people by the way of their photograph? That is mind-blowing.
Okay, so again, we're not working with electricity or magnetism. So scalar energy is a fundamental force in the universe, and with this energy, we can access the energy, the force field on a photograph. So people never come to me in person. Rather, I simply receive a person's photograph by way of email. So a scalar energy instrument can pick up a force field on a photograph, can make a connection by way of that photograph. So everything I do is by way of photographs, allowing me to treat people around the world by their force field, all through the medium of their emailed photograph.
So if you would get into it further, explaining how it actually works in that format.
Well, it works on account of the fact that I'm working with a fundamental force. Scalar energy is a fundamental force. And if you're working with a primal force, that primal force obeys certain laws. So I have control, I have the ability to control certain laws of nature. And then by way of experience, over the years, so to speak, over the past 30 years, I've been working with people by way of their photograph. I've been working with animals by way of their photograph. And I've received incredible testimonies from people around the world. For instance, everybody who's ever sent us a photograph, if they were ever infected with the herpes virus, after we work with their photograph, that person will invariably tell us that they no longer have the symptoms of the herpes virus, or if they have the ability to secure a test, that test result, a PCR test, will reveal no viral load for herpes. So by way of the force of these circumstances and the mounting evidence that we have, it appears that a scalar energy instrument can easily break down a herpes virus. And I have testimonies to that extent from hundreds of people around the world who simply submitted their photograph to us.
Well, that right there says it all, and we want to thank you for joining us here today. Tom, if you would, tell our listeners where they could tap into this, where they could get further details and to be in contact with you.
Thank you, Eric. We offer 15 days of free sessions to anybody in the world. So what do I mean by that? Our website is scalarlight.com. You'll visit the website, send us your photograph. We will treat you and your family for free by way of your photograph, and then you decide the merit of these sessions.
And you certainly can't beat that. Again, folks, for more details, visit scalarlight.com. Mr. Paladino, all the best. Thanks for joining us here today on eHealth Radio.
Thank you, Eric. Thanks.
Again, we've been visiting with Mr. Tom Paladino, a scalar energy researcher with 30-plus years experience helping people with chronic pathogenic illnesses. And for all the details, visit scalarlight.com. And again, this has been your host, Eric Michaels, and we do thank you for your continued support of the eHealth Radio Network. Join us again soon for another episode that will help further expand your knowledge on those things that are important to your health and wellness. For more eHealth Radio reports, we invite you to visit our main radio channel site at eHealthRadioNetwork.com. And as always, we do thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in to the eHealth Radio Network. For more information or to subscribe to this podcast, visit eHealthRadioNetwork.com.